Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be setting up a Florida biotope swamp aquarium in this shallow tank that we've got here. In there, I've already got the beginning phases set up, but this is not the final tank. This is before I've turned it into the biotope. The whole idea behind a biotope is that you only use fish and plants that are native and you try and make it look as natural as possible. The look I am going for is actually a Florida Everglades swamp look. The sand has a little bit of clay in it, so it is a kind of tan to reddish tinge in the sand, and there's lots of grass plants. So Valencenaria or jungle val is really common there, and then duckweed as well. So those typical grassy swamp marsh types of plants. And then what's really cool is mollies. So mollies are actually native to Florida as well. So you get some really big Dalmatian sailfin mollies there, and I've got a little balloon Dalmatian molly already, and we're going to be adding a bunch of mollies. So basically a little molly army into this tank as well. Without further ado, let's get into the video. With the Florida theme, what you'll see here is we already have a little crocodile that I got every time I walk into this room. I think that's like some type of lizard or spider or something sitting on there. It scares me every time. So the tank itself is an Aqua One 4-foot low iron glass tank. And then for filtration, we've just got a Chem tidal filter, which is just a hang on the back filter. And then I've also got a Chihiros light. This is just a Chihiros Vivid Mini. It is quite a bright light. All of our plants that we're going to be getting for this biotope will need to be in the substrate. This brown stuff is aqua soil. So sand tends to not have any nutrients in there, and you can add fertilizers into the sand, but what you can also do is you can buy an aqua soil and pop that into the tank, and that will also help to feed your plants. As you can see, our hang on the back filter also has a pothos in it, which is just a house plant that you can get rid of the soil from and oopsies, put it into the water, and that will suck nitrates out from its roots. So they're a really good plant for that. Take this one out and we'll go and grab some of our media to put in here. This here is just the sump of our Tanganyika tank. As you can see, I've got a bunch of that pothos growing in this sump as well. Just grab out some of the crushed coral. We're not going to have a huge bioload, so I think that should be enough, and we can just keep an eye on our parameters. Okay, so what I've actually done is I've taken off the little end part that's down there, because what is really good about these filters is that if there's any sand that gets into the pump, they turn off, which is good for saving your pump, but it's just not great if you're getting sand in your pump. I'm just gonna leave it like that, take this little tube off, and hopefully that should work. Let's add in our beneficial bacteria. Now this type of media is actually coral, which will raise your pH, but you can just get normal ceramic media for this, or bio balls as well. Mollies like a high pH, so this will not be a problem for them. There we go. And now it's turned on, we can stick our pothos back in the top. All right, so our tank is drained and it's ready to add some plants. So the only plant that actually is technically biotope in here is this giant val here, which is really long. So let's just chuck that into Speckles' tank just for now. And then all of this stuff, we're just gonna put it in the other holding tank that we have, just so it doesn't get as mixed. But let's really get all of our aqua soil mixed with our sand over here. And what we might do is just build this up a little bit more with sand, like this river rock here, and really build that up. I've got some more of this sand that I can add. Maybe push this out to the side. And so when you're stacking rocks, it's normally good to build them from the bottom of the tank as well up, just in case you ever have it collapse from fish that dig, but mollies do not really dig. So we should be okay on that front. Let's just add some sand into this area to bulk it up. And really build that up. It'll be a nice little riverbank. On this side we have a nice tall mound, and I didn't make it completely equal on this side. Originally I was going to, but I'm thinking of maybe setting something else different up in that area there, so it's not going to be just plants. Okay, so now we just need to add our plants and our little school of mollies, which we don't have right now, so let's go and fix that. Alrighty, so we're just at MAD Aquariums and we've got Maddie here.
Hi! Hi.
These are our little balloon mollies. So they've got plenty of balloon mollies at the moment. And because we're doing a Florida biotope, mollies are actually native to Florida.
Correct. Yep.
Yes, and the Dalmatian mollies, you get some giant sailfin ones there. So we're going to add some more of these to be friends with Speckles that we've already got at home.
Speckles.
Little Speckles. And then what we'll do is we'll go grab some plants as well, some biotope plants.
Awesome. All right, let's do it. Because they breed constantly and so quickly, the males can get quite grumpy. So we always want to make sure we got 2 girls for every boy we've got with our live bearers. That stops the boys from harassing the girls too much, keeps everyone nice and happy. Couple of speckly ones.
Yes, some little Speckles.
Mollies are such a great, easy little fish. Very hardy little creatures.
It says hydrocotyle Japan. Just ignore the Japan part because I did look up hydrocotyle and it says that it's native to Florida, but I don't know if it's exactly that type. But
so there's thousands of hydrocotyle species. That one in particular, I believe, is native to Asia, but we do have a lot of native hydrocotyle species here in Australia as well. They're kind of all over the place, all over the world.
I've already got some of this big val, but I might just get maybe like another 2 of those.
2 thin val, awesome.
Yeah, a couple of the hydrocotyls, and then some other types of val and hair graft, twisted val.
I like twisted val.
Cool. Yep, I reckon we'll get a couple of those. Gonna get a mister for it as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it'll be like a little swamp kind of look.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm super keen to see it.
I know, I'm really excited actually. And Zach had a really cool idea for the crocodile.
Yep.
So he was saying that you could put like the skull and then get holy rock.
Yep. Yes.
To do like the ribs.
That would be so cool.
It'd be freaking awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maddie.
You're so welcome.
And we will continue to work on our crocodile idea and see how it goes. Alrighty, so on our little plant platter here, you can see we've got our hair grass, we've got our twisted curly val, then we've got a thinner val too to match our big val that we've already going to have in there. And then we also got these tiny little lily kind of looking plants. Okay, and so I said I wanted to add some crocodiles in there. I did not expect this, but I found this ornament at MAD Aquariums, and Zach, who was one of the juniors there, he's very creative. He had this idea where he said you could get Texas holy rock and then make that look like bones that connected to the head, and he thought it would look very, very cool in a shallow tank, and I agree. So that was super easy to place. I just popped the head on there and then I just put the Texas holy rock. I think if we add some sand over it, get some of the plants in, and that gets some algae over time, it'll match a little bit more. But I think that's a really cool idea, and that will also be really fun for the mollies to swim in and out of. This is all just about having a little bit of fun, trying new things, because I'm also going to add a fog machine as well to make this swampy kind of look. Zen Aqua is an Instagram page, and they did have a YouTube channel that I followed, and I actually got so much inspiration off him. So I just wanted to point that out. I think it's really important to credit ideas. Even though it's not exactly the same, that's still ultimately where I got this idea from. So let's add some plants in. We'll start with our large jungle vals, and I'm just going to put them down this end here where they can get nice and deep into the substrate. This is going to get nice and long. I'm going to put our curly val a little bit more in the foreground, just here, so it can stand out nicely. And then we've got our thinner val as well, which just thinking where the best spot for that would be. Probably we'll just mix it in near with the bigger val. And then once we fill it up, we can test it, see how it looks. Now I'm thinking these little ones that we can put them near where the skull is. So these little potted ones, you can just take them out like that and get rid of the sponge, and then just keep the plants with the roots for planting. And we'll put this where our soil is on this side, just around our little skeleton, so it can hopefully grow around it, give like an overgrown type of look. I was going to get hornwort, which is just a free floating plant, but they didn't have it, so we'll just start with this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fill the tank and see how the plants look in it. So after the tank filled up, I made a few adjustments. I just wanted to move the rocks over to the right hand side to bulk that bit up a bit and make more of a mound. Then I readjusted where the alligator / crocodile was. The place it ended up in the end will be different to what you see in the thumbnail. I just thought it kind of looked like a battleship where it was, so I did put it on less of an angle later. Alrighty, so the tank has now had time to clear up. So we're gonna add our little mollies in. They've been very patiently waiting. We've got a bunch of mollies in here, as you can see. We've got all of our beautiful colored ones just there. So they're the original ones we got, and then I ended up making a decision to grab a couple more females as well, which is just these guys here. They're gonna look so beautiful in there, and Speckles will be joining them. So ideally I want to start quarantining my fish. That's what the 2 tanks down the bottom are for, but in this case I think it's going to be worse off for Speckles to spend even longer on her own when they like to be with other fish. So if anything did happen, I would just end up treating all of them, including Speckles, but I think that we will be fine in this case. But I am working on getting my quarantine practices to be better, since that is a recommended thing to do. Speckles is generally very, very easy to catch. Like the easiest fish in the entire world to catch. There's not many fish that you can catch in a cup, but Speckles is one of those fish. Alright. There we go. It's going to be a bit bigger and nicer for you. Alright, that's going to be 2 females that just went in, and then there's going to be some males, 2 males, and a bunch of females in this slot. Alright, it is officially a party. Speckles finally has friends. So even though I did change the resting position of the alligator head later on, the mollies seemed really, really happy in there. It was quite cute. They were exploring in a little group together. The other thing I did change to was just the light. I made it a little bit more yellow looking as well to make it have more of that swamp effect. But here are these little guys just loving it up, enjoying their new little tank. Very, very sweet little fish. Speckles was a bit depressed, but she came out later. That's what I had envisioned. That side is what I thought I was gonna have on both sides, but I just wanted to try something different with that ornament and see how it would look. Just because you don't really get an opportunity to try things like that every day. So there you have it. That is a snapshot of the Florida Everglades, what you would see under the water there. Honestly, at the moment, probably a little bit cleaner than what you would see, but I just think that the skull of the crocodile or alligator, whatever it is, who knows in Florida, I think that just completely adds to it. I think once it gets a grown in look, it's going to look more swampy, and also what we might be able to do is even get some plants, for more plants like reeds that will actually stick out, because I think, can you imagine if we put some reeds in here as well that were actually, you know, coming out of the tank? I think that would look absolutely awesome, and it would complement the skull really nicely and the mist really nicely too. But there you have it. I hope you enjoyed building this Florida biotope. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know that the crocodile thing is a little bit, you know, left to center, but I think it's cool. I think let's give it a chance. Let's let the plants grow in and we'll see how it goes. Better than putting the plastic crocodiles in there. That would probably leach dye and stuff in there. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, comment down what you think. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of this content. But also, I'm going to the US in a few weeks, and there's going to be so much awesome content, including going to the Florida Everglades and seeing what we can catch, like African cichlids there. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see all of that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.